Hello lovely people, welcome to our weekly reading for the week of the 19th of June in the year 2023. I hope you are all well, I hope you have had a great week and I hope you're looking forward to seeing what the cards have to tell us this week. I know I certainly am. So I'm a little bit croaky, just to say, and so you'll have to forgive me for that one. So let's have a look and see what the cards are going to tell us this week. So before I turn the cards, I thought I would ask the cards 3 questions. So we will look at card number 1, which is what is my current spiritual lesson? And that is the Queen of Wands. Okay, I love the Queen of Wands. Card number 2 is what are my current spiritual strengths? And here we have the Hermit, so that's a very good one to have. And card number 3 is what do I need to learn in order to fulfill my life's purpose? So let's have a look. Ooh, so we have the Lovers. We have one court card, which is the Queen of Wands. We have 2 major arcana cards. So this is really nice. So for this question, what is my current spiritual lesson? We're looking here at the Queen of Wands. Now, the Wands path is about pursuing life's opportunities, and it's about pursuing those opportunities with passion and with courage. Now, the thing is with Wands people, the kind of lesson here is that they need to be able to harness passion and to be able to apply discipline to their enthusiasm. And there is a little bit of a challenge here with this, because if you were to do that, so basically if they're going to harness passion, that can there's a possibility that might extinguish the kind of fires of the passion within. So too much passion and energy can dissipate in too many directions, and that can often lead to lack of success. Whereas too much discipline with passion, and then it can wilt. Sorry, I'm getting my words all muddled up here. So too much discipline can actually wilt passion. So it's really about finding that balance to be able to apply some kind of discipline without extinguishing, the fires of passion. So this card is coming up and telling you that you need to pace yourself so that you can reach some of your goals. And this would include making sure that you're not taking on too many goals when perhaps you don't have enough time, or maybe you don't have enough money, or perhaps you don't have enough energy to see them to conclusion. Now, the Queen of Wands is very much about being passionate. She's forthright. She's enthusiastic. She's very generous. She's very courageous, and she's bold, loyal, and independent. Now, this Queen is telling you to maybe have a little bit of patience. This fire and this passion is all very well, and it's all great, and we love it. However, don't be barging ahead and taking on too many things at the same time, because that will lead to your energies just going all over the place and nowhere in particular. So the lesson of this card kind of includes understanding how important preparation is to realize your goals. And we know that Wands people can be very impatient. Wands people thrive on seeing their plans take shape. So they would be sort of like the architects, the builders of the world, if you like. Whereas because they don't like planning. They're not, once people tend not to be great planners. The planners really would be the pentacle people. They would be the the designers, if you like, the architects. Yes, architects and the designers. So so once people like it, they like seeing things taking shape. Now, what's really great about once people as well is that they're not easily deterred by failure. So because they know that when they fail, then this is a good time to learn to plan and to prepare for future success. And this again is where the Queen comes in here, because she is in charge here. She is very bold, she's very independent, but she's a great learner. She's, she didn't just turn up at this throne. She had to really make her way there. So the other thing to bear in mind with this card is that sometimes when you have reached your goal, you may there may be a sense of a kind of disappointment. It's a little bit like a void that it's, well, what do you do next? I have nothing to do. I've achieved this. Now what do I do next? And so really here, then you might be looking at having another goal in the works. And so because once people, they do like to push past their previous best to create new limits. So it's all about discovering new things. So often there is a sense of urgency. And here we have the Queen of Wands saying, no, slow down, have a little bit of patience, take some time out here. And because that's part of the challenge. So it is about living in the present while having kind of like your awareness in the future, because what we do today will shape tomorrow. So interesting card here for this lesson. It's, obviously all that enthusiasm is there and that passion, but it's really about harnessing it. And once people find that quite difficult to do. Now, the next card here, which leads us on to, which is what are your current spiritual strengths? And the Hermit has come up here. Now, the Hermit is very much about quiet reflection. And the Hermit, it's about taking time out. And so basically, quiet reflection is necessary to deepen your understanding of life. And time alone is really, really good for providing opportunities for you to sift through your past actions and to sift through your decisions that you have made in the past. So any sort of reflection will deepen your understanding, and it will rarely, kind of like action without reflection rarely deepens understanding. So it's really important. This reflection part is really important, and particularly for one's people, because they're so busy moving forward and chasing new things to do, new discoveries. And it is really good to take a little bit of time out here and go, whoa, hang on a moment, what am I doing? Where am I happy? Do I like the life path that I'm currently taking? Or it might be a question about your job, or a move, will this job bring me more long-term fulfillment, or will this relocation bring me to more long-term fulfillment, or whatever is going on in your life. This card is telling you to step back and reflect on your past actions and your past decisions, so that you can kind of see where you are at the moment and how you got there. So how have you actually reached this point in your life? And so this is this really is a time to understand how you have reached this point and to learn from your past experience so that you can basically quicken the journey ahead. So once again, I'm just going to say, like, careful reflection of past actions is rarely time wasted. Because what it can do is it can help you to avoid repeating mistakes. We tend to be creatures of habit, and unless we learn lessons from our previous decisions, we will carry on making those same decisions. We will carry on behaving in that way because we haven't stopped to think, well, how has that worked for me in the past? But, maybe it worked great for me in the past, but how is that going to benefit me now in the present? Because what worked for us in the past doesn't necessarily work for us in the present, because our lives are different. And we have learned lots of things along the way. We have hopefully, we have discarded lots of things in the way on our journey too. And that's really what the hermit is about. It's about looking at all of that and asking yourself, am I making a decision based on the way that I used to feel? Am I making a decision based on behaviors that would have protected me perhaps in the past, that would have and are those behaviors necessary for me now, or is it maybe time for me to change an old pattern, because what was happening in the past is in the past, it's not what's happening today. So really good time to just look at that sort of thing. That are we bringing old behaviors into the present, and that would be, are we bringing old inappropriate behaviors into the present, because the time that is now is not appropriate for that behavior. Apologies if I am labouring a point here, but I do think it's really quite important. Now, this brings us to the third card, which is the Lovers. And the question that goes with this card today is, what do I need to learn in order to fulfill my life's purpose? And here we have the Lovers. Now, the Lovers represents love in all its forms. And so this includes kind of like relationships with lovers. It can be a relationship with your friends, with your family, but most importantly, this card is very much about yourself, the relationship you have with yourself. And what this card does is it represents the different aspects of you that must be brought into harmony in order for you to gain perspective. Now, the Lover also represents choices. And when this card comes up, it's telling you that you can heal any situation and you can free yourself from any kind of suffering by viewing whatever it is, that matter, like through the eyes of authentic love. And that is that authentic love for yourself. So my question here could be like, do you have difficulty maybe in loving yourself? Are you able to open your heart and be completely honest about who you are and what you feel? These are quite deep questions, and interesting that this card is coming up after the Hermit, because the Hermit is very much about this kind of reflection. The Hermit's very much about asking these kind of questions and, to figure out how to go forward. Now, because the Lovers, if you look at the card here, that these lovers are brought together in a state of complete harmony. They're naked. There's nothing. There's no secrets between them. There's no need to put on a front. There's no need to impress. And if we look here at the mountain that separates them, so this mountain signifies like creating a barrier. But here we have the angel on top, and this angel transcends all barriers, and so allows the lovers to relate to one another no matter what the obstacles are. And so this is very much about those different aspects of yourself being brought into balance. And when those aspects of yourself are brought into balance, this means then that you can experience much more fulfilling relationships with other people. Now, the lovers is about combining your masculine and your feminine energies and to move forward in life. So masculine energies are very much an urge, kind of like towards action and action and achievement, whereas the feminine is much more focused on kind of receiving what life has to offer. So the feminine is very much about unconscious awareness and that sort of capacity to feel. Now, when this card comes up, it is a time to move forward, and it signifies awareness of both the physical and the spiritual needs when you're making a decision. Now, the man is here looking to the woman for comfort and for contentment, if we look at the card here. However, she's not looking at him. She's gazing up at the angel because she's realizing that lasting fulfillment comes from within. So this card, the lover, it indicates that it's time to decide. It's about making a decision. It could be whether to buy a house. It could be whether to marry a person, whether to take that job. And often when the lovers comes up, it can be about a new relationship, but it can also be about the beginning of a different stage of an existing relationship. And that existing stage of beginning that beginning of a different stage of an existing relationship could also be with yourself. So I kind of feel like looking at these three cards here, there's a lot of, thought for, no, that was the expression. There is a lot of something for thought. So there's a lot of thought in these three cards. There's a lot to process, really, is what I guess I want to say. And I think there's three really, really great cards. And so I'm really happy to leave you with these cards for you to have a look at yourself and see what's going on here. So, lovely people, this is the end of our reading for this week. And if it resonates with you, do leave me a comment below. You can subscribe to this channel and be notified for the next reading. Or if you would like to know more, you can book a private reading with me. I would love to hear from you. You can find my email address in the description of the video. So until next week, lots of love.